The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress first took to the skies in 1952. At the time, nobody could have imagined this massive bomber would still be flying more than 70 years later. But here we are, in the 2020s, and not only is the B-52 still active, it's being upgraded again to stay in service into the 2050s or even longer. This plane isn't just a Cold War leftover. It's a powerful, evolving part of modern air power asterisk to understand why this aircraft keeps going. We need to look back at how it all started. After World War II, the U.S. Air Force needed a new bomber, one that could fly far enough to reach targets deep inside the Soviet Union without using bases overseas. That meant it had to fly across oceans and still deliver nuclear weapons. Boeing, already known for the B-17 and B-29, answered the call at first. Their design used propeller engines. But those weren't fast enough. Over time, the Air Force asked for more speed, more range, and more power. Inside the military, there were disagreements. Some generals wanted to stay with turboprops because jet engines used too much fuel. Others argued for all-jet power. In the end, jet engines won. The final version of the B-52 was shaped in an unusual way. A group of Boeing engineers actually worked on a new design over a weekend in a hotel in Dayton, Ohio. They used balsa wood and supplies from a hobby shop to build a model of what would become the B-52. They gave it swept-back wings, 8 engines in 4 pods, and unusual bicycle-style landing gear. The Air Force liked the design, and Boeing got the go-ahead to build it. The first B-52 flew in April 1952, and by 1955 it was ready for action. It joined the 93rd Bomb Wing and quickly became the main U.S. bomber for long-range missions. In 1957, 3 B-52s flew non-stop around the world in less than 46 hours, proving it could go anywhere. With help from mid-air refueling, these bombers could strike targets on the other side of the planet and return home. Though built to carry nuclear weapons, the B-52 has mostly dropped regular bombs in actual combat. During the Vietnam War, it was used in massive bombing raids over the jungle. In 1991, during Operation Desert Storm, B-52s flew 35-hour round trips from Louisiana to Iraq, launching cruise missiles and then flying all the way back. They later took part in strikes in Kosovo, Afghanistan, and Iraq again, each time proving they could still handle modern warfare. The B-52H model is the only version still flying today. It came with new jet engines, Pratt & Whitney TF-33S, that improved fuel use and flight range. The bomber could now fly faster, cruise more efficiently, and go farther without needing a refuel. It could also carry more bombs, up to 70,000 pounds of weapons, from dumb bombs to high-tech cruise missiles. Over the years, the B-52 was upgraded with better radar, improved navigation systems, and tools to fly low and avoid enemy defenses. Its nickname, Buff, or Big Ugly Fat Fellow, might sound silly, but crews have deep respect for it. It's earned that with decades of reliability. Even in the early 2000s, the B-52 had a better mission readiness rate than newer bombers. While stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit had issues staying operational, the B-52 just kept flying. But even tough machines need updates. That's why the Air Force started a major program in 2021 to give the B-52 new engines. Rolls-Royce was chosen to supply the F-130 engine, a more modern and efficient replacement that should last for decades. The new version of the B-52, called the B-52J, will use these engines and get other upgrades too. These include better radar based on what Navy fighter jets use, digital screens in the cockpit, and new systems for flying in modern, connected combat zones. The bomber's nose is also getting a new look. Old equipment used for low-level flying is being removed, replaced by modern targeting pods mounted under the wings. These changes aren't just cosmetic, they make the B-52 more Precise and easier to fly, one of the most exciting changes is the bomber's new weapon capabilities. Boeing is designing new pylons under the wings that can carry 20,000 pounds each. That opens the door for much heavier and more advanced weapons, including hypersonic missiles. One of these, the AGM-183 AARRW, was successfully tested from a B-52. In 2024, although funding for the missile was cut at one point, the program is still moving forward. The B-52 might also be returning to its nuclear roots. In the past, some of these bombers were able to carry nuclear cruise missiles, but that ability was removed in 2010. Now, there's talk of rearming 30 B-52s with new long-range nuclear missiles called the AGM-181 LRSO. These would allow the bomber to strike distant targets from outside enemy air defenses, keeping it safe while staying deadly. What makes the B-52 so special is how well it was built and how easy it is to upgrade. Its large frame, long range, and massive payload make it useful even in today's high-tech battles. It's cheaper to fly than newer stealth bombers and much more reliable. And now, with new engines, better radar, and modern weapons, it's set to fly until at least 2055. That means a single type of aircraft will have been in service for over 100 years. It's a record that's hard to believe, but it's likely to happen. Today's pilots are flying planes that their grandfathers may have flown, or that their grandfathers' instructors trained on. The B-52 may not be fast or stealthy, but it's a symbol of raw power and staying power. It's the workhorse of the U.S. bomber fleet. While new planes like the B-21 Raider are on the way, they won't replace the B-52 anytime soon. Instead, they'll fly together, new and old, each with its own role. So, next time you see a photo of a B-52 or hear it roar overhead, remember, that's not a museum piece. That's a living machine. Built in the age of black and white TV,